The corridor shivered as Princess Elara raced forward, clutching the ancient scroll, while Prince Kael ran beside her, whispering urgent warnings. Queen Seraphine appeared at the hall's edge, her gaze blazing with a mixture of fear and hope. Lord Varen positioned himself protectively, watching every shadow. Eldrin, the wise mentor, chanted quietly, guiding their steps. Alaric's dark silhouette lingered in the corners, plotting unseen attacks. Pyrrhus hovered above, wings stirring sparks as the magical guardian sensed the awakening power. Every heartbeat pulsed with tension as Elara's flames flickered unpredictably. The scroll's whispers hinted at destiny, warning that failure could consume them all. Together, they faced the first trial, a crucible that would define the kingdom's fate. Elara's flames flickered wildly as Kael shouted cautions, and Eldrin's voice guided her through the chaos. Seraphine's gaze burned with fear and pride, while Lord Varen stood vigilant. Alaric lingered in shadow, plotting quietly. Pyrrhus hovered above, wings spreading protective sparks. Every heartbeat pulsed with danger as the scroll whispered secrets. Kael gripped Elara's hand, grounding her focus. Eldrin's chants wove protective energy around them. Seraphine stepped closer, urging calm, while Lord Varen scanned for threats. Alaric's eyes glimmered with cruel intent, unseen but present. Together they balanced on the edge of catastrophe, each step testing Elara's emerging power. The flames twisted as Pyrrhus hovered above, wings scattering sparks. Kael's voice urged caution, while Seraphine cried warnings. Eldrin reminded Elara to breathe as Lord Varen held position. Alaric observed silently, hidden in shadow. Each motion was dangerous. A misstep could ignite disaster. Elara's heartbeat guided the fire as Kael gripped her hand. Seraphine whispered encouragement, and Eldrin focused energy. Pyrrhus stirred, sensing danger. The hall itself seemed alive, the first trial shaping Elara's destiny. Suddenly, fire roared as Seraphine shouted to Elara. Kael steadied her while Eldrin chanted protective glyphs. Lord Varen blocked debris, alert to danger. Alaric's smirk appeared from shadows, plotting. Pyrrhus flapped wings, scattering sparks. Flames wrapped around Elara, testing her control. The scroll pulsed, revealing ancient secrets. Kael's hand steadied hers. Eldrin illuminated a path. Seraphine's courage shone through fear. Destiny and peril intertwined, each heartbeat a trial as Elara faced her first true test. The first spark of destiny ignited as Elara lifted her hands, flames forming a protective aura. Kael encouraged her, steadying trembling fire. Seraphine's eyes glistened with pride and fear, witnessing her daughter's awakening. Lord Varen readied defenses. Eldrin murmured the final words of the spell. Alaric's shadow lingered silently. Pyrrhus glided closer, wings scattering protective embers. The scroll's whispers harmonized with Elara's heartbeat. Fire and courage intertwined, marking the beginning of her journey. Every stone and ember seemed alive, echoing the fragile balance between power and peril. The morning fog clung to the forest as Elara and Kael advanced cautiously, senses heightened. Eldrin's voice guided them through the twisted paths while Seraphine trailed, her eyes sharp with concern. Lord Varen kept a watchful perimeter, alert to ambushes. Alaric's shadow slinked silently among the trees, unseen but menacing. Pyrrhus circled above, wings slicing through mist, sparks illuminating hidden roots. Every step tested courage as the scroll's glowing runes whispered warnings. Kael grasped Elara's arm to steady her, and Eldrin murmured chants of protection. Seraphine's breath misted in the cold air, tension tight in her chest. Together, they navigated peril, each motion choreographed by instinct and destiny. Suddenly, a hidden trap snapped as Alaric emerged, smirking. Kael shouted warnings while Elara twisted, flames flaring. Eldrin raised glowing glyphs, weaving protective barriers. Seraphine leapt aside, eyes wide, heart racing. Lord Varen blocked falling branches, muscles straining. Pyrrhus dove, scattering embers that illuminated the danger. The scroll vibrated violently, whispering frantic guidance to Ilara. Every second stretched with peril. Each heartbeat marked a choice between survival and disaster. Kale's hand steadied Ilara, Eldrin's chants strengthened the protective wards, and Seraphine's courage grounded them. Alaric's laughter echoed as he vanished into shadows, plotting the next strike. Ilara's flames surged, responding to her will as Kale barked instructions. Eldrin's chants intensified, weaving intricate wards around the group. Seraphine's eyes softened with pride, but remained vigilant. Lord Varen scanned for Alaric's shadowy ambushes. Alaric observed silently, manipulating unseen forces. Perhus's wings scattered protective sparks over the group, illuminating hidden dangers. Every heartbeat echoed danger, every breath a test of focus. The scroll pulsed, guiding Alara's fire, binding power and instinct. Kale gripped her hand. Eldrin's glyphs shimmered, and Seraphine's courage anchored them. Together, they pressed forward, aware of lurking threats and the fragile line between triumph and disaster. The forest opened to a dark glade where Alara's traps awaited. Kale's voice warned Ilara as Eldrin traced magical symbols in the air. Seraphine's breath came fast, yet she stood firm, ready to defend. Lord Varen crouched, muscles taut, eyes scanning. Perhus hovered above, wings beating with ember sparks. Flames danced on Ilara's hands, responding to the scroll's whispers. Every step held risk, every shadow could conceal a deadly strike. Alaric's laughter echoed, taunting and cruel. Kale grasped Ilara's arm, grounding her focus. Eldrin's chants wove protective barriers. Seraphine and Lord Varen flanked her. Together, they braced for the storm Alaric had conjured. The final ambush struck as Alaric unleashed his dark magic. Flames erupted from Ilara's hands, wild yet controlled. Kale shouted commands guiding her movements. Eldrin's glyphs shimmered, forming protective shields. Seraphine stepped forward, courage lighting her expression. Lord Varen deflected debris, muscles taut. Perhus dove, scattering embers that illuminated the clearing. The scroll pulsed violently, urging Ilara onward. Each heartbeat resonated with danger and hope. Alaric's shadow flickered, manipulating illusions. Together they fought through chaos, fire, and fear. Ilara's power surged, guided by the scroll and the steadfast presence of her companions. The volcano loomed ahead, molten rivers casting red light across the jagged cliffs. Ilara clenched the scroll as Kale steadied her, eyes scanning for hidden dangers. Eldrin muttered incantations, glyphs floating around his hands. Seraphine adjusted her grip on her sword, determination etched across her face. Lord Varen scanned the paths, anticipating Alaric's traps. Alaric emerged from molten smoke, his dark robes blending with the fiery landscape. Perhus soared above, wings scattering sparks that danced over the jagged terrain. Every heartbeat was a drum of urgency. Ilara felt the scroll's warmth guiding her, Kale's steady presence grounding her, Eldrin's chants reinforcing protective wards, and Seraphine's courage fueling their advance. Suddenly, molten rocks erupted from the volcano as Alaric unleashed a storm of fire and shadow. Kale shouted commands to Ilara as Eldrin reinforced the glyph barriers. Seraphine lunged forward, deflecting debris with her sword. Lord Varen held his ground, blocking dangerous falling stones. Perhus circled above, embers scattering to illuminate hidden dangers. The scroll vibrated violently, guiding Ilara's flames. Every step was a perilous dance. Every breath weighed with tension. Alaric's laughter echoed through the volcanic canyon. Ilara's flames grew hotter, responding to the scroll's guidance. Kale's steady hands, Eldrin's chants, Seraphine's courage, and Lord Varen's strength all synchronized in the desperate fight for survival. Ilara's flames surged uncontrollably, illuminating Alaric's dark figure as Kale tried to contain the chaos. Eldrin's glyphs floated around them, pulsing with energy. Seraphin's sword clashed with Alaric's shadowy illusions, sparks scattering in every direction. Lord Varin leapt to shield Alara from falling volcanic shards. Pirhus swooped low, scattering embers that momentarily blinded Alaric. The scroll glowed intensely, binding Alara's power with instinct. Each heartbeat was a drum of tension, each movement choreographed by desperate focus. Kale's grip steadied her, Eldrin's chants bolstered protective wards, Seraphine's courage shone, and Lord Varin's strength grounded their resolve. The volcanic storm raged, testing every ounce of skill and will. As the volcanic storm intensified, Alara concentrated, flames coiling around her like living serpents. Kale's hands guided her focus as Eldrin's glyphs shimmered with protective power. Seraphin's sword carved arcs through the shadows, each strike precise. Lord Varin's vigilance blocked falling debris and Alaric's attacks. Pirhus's wings flared, scattering ember light over the chaotic battlefield. Alaric's shadow twisted, adapting to each move, taunting the group. The scroll pulsed with energy, almost sentient, channeling Alara's fury. Every heartbeat resonated with danger, every breath a test of skill and courage. Together, they advanced toward the volcano's heart, synchronized by determination and trust. In the volcano's heart, Alara's power reached its zenith. Flames erupted in a controlled maelstrom, as Kale steadied her. Eldrin's glyphs fused into a radiant barrier surrounding the group. Seraphin's sword radiated light as she parried the last illusions. Lord Varin deflected molten debris with unwavering strength. Pirhus dove, scattering embers that illuminated Alaric's final stand. The scroll pulsed violently, amplifying Alara's control and guiding her attack. Alaric roared in defiance, but the combined force of courage, magic, and loyalty overwhelmed him. Every heartbeat echoed victory, every breath carried relief. Together, they stood united, the volcanic storm subsiding, Alara's flames cooling into a calm glow, their ordeal reaching its climax. The volcano's eruption had left the surrounding valley in ruins. Alara surveyed the scorched landscape, her flames subdued but still warm on her hands. Kale knelt beside her, mapping the safest route through the jagged terrain. Eldrin muttered softly, sensing lingering magical echoes of Alaric's power. Seraphin lifted her sword, testing its balance as she scanned the horizon. Lord Varin inspected the debris, careful to avoid traps. Pirhus perched nearby, wings folding slowly as sparks dissipated into the smoky sky. The group moved cautiously, every step a negotiation with the fractured land. Alara's resolve hardened, Kale's vigilance never wavered. Eldrin's magic whispered guidance, and Seraphine's courage held them steady. As they advanced, the valley trembled with aftershocks. Alara's flames flared instinctively, lighting the darkened path. Kale's eyes scanned the cracks in the earth, guiding them over unstable ground. Eldrin extended his hands, weaving protective glyphs that shimmered against the smoke. Seraphin moved ahead with her sword drawn, ready to defend against any lurking threat. Lord Varin helped stabilize loose rocks, alert to sudden collapses. Pirhus spread his wings, scattering embers to illuminate their route. The group worked in perfect sync, tension riding every step. Alara's intuition guided them, Kale's leadership kept them focused, Eldrin's magic provided protection, and Seraphine's courage led the way. A deep chasm opened before them, splitting the valley like a jagged scar. Alara felt the scroll vibrate, a faint glow guiding her across. Kale extended his hand, helping her leap over the unstable fissure. Eldrin floated beside them, glyphs shimmering as bridges of light appeared. Seraphin vaulted gracefully, her sword illuminating the shadows below. Lord Varin followed cautiously, scanning for hidden pitfalls. Pirhus hovered above, wings beating slowly to steady the group. The air was tense with anticipation, every movement measured, every glance a communication. Alara's flames responded to her will. Kale's hands steadied her. Eldrin's magic illuminated safe steps, and Seraphine's courage cleared obstacles. Beyond the chasm, remnants of Alaric's fortress emerged, half buried in ash. Alara's hand tightened on the scroll, as Kale signaled for caution. Eldrin raised his staff, sensing lingering enchantments. Seraphine's sword shimmered, ready to strike. Lord Varen scouted ahead, ensuring the ground was safe. Perhus flew low, casting light to reveal hidden threats. The fortress seemed alive with danger, shadows moving unnaturally in the ash. Every step required trust and coordination. Elara's focus guided their path, Kale's vigilance maintained safety, Eldrin's magic warned of traps, Seraphine's courage confronted danger, and Lord Varen's strength kept them grounded. The group entered the fortress, the air thick with dust and residual magic. Elara's flames lit the corridors as Kale moved beside her, eyes scanning every shadow. Eldrin traced runes on the walls, feeling the echo of Alaric's power. Seraphine's sword struck with controlled precision, warding off unstable debris. Lord Varen supported the structure as they passed through crumbling archways. Perhus hovered overhead, wings fanning light over their path. Every breath was measured, every heartbeat echoed with tension. Elara's control of fire guided them safely. Kale's vigilance prevented accidents. Eldrin's magic revealed hidden paths. Seraphine's courage protected them, and Lord Varen's strength stabilized their route. The group stood in the heart of Alaric's fortress, the throne room shattered and glowing with unstable magic. Elara's flames danced across the cracked stone as Kale positioned himself beside her. Eldrin extended his staff, sensing the pulse of Alaric's lingering energy. Seraphine raised her sword, ready to strike at any shadow that moved. Lord Varen steadied the ground beneath their feet, aware of every creaking beam. Perhus hovered above, wings fanning sparks to illuminate the dark chamber. The air thrummed with tension, every heartbeat synchronized with the unstable magic. Elara's courage blazed, Kale's vigilance directed, Eldrin's magic warned, Seraphine's sword defended, and Lord Varen's strength held them steady. A sudden surge of dark energy erupted from the throne as Alara's spirit materialized. Elara's flames flared instinctively, forming a protective barrier. Kale drew his sword, stepping forward to shield his companions. Eldrin chanted ancient words, weaving counterspells in the swirling energy. Seraphine lunged at spectral minions, her blade slicing through the shadows with precision. Lord Varen braced against collapsing pillars, protecting the group. Perhus circled above, wings scattering embers that seared the dark magic. The room shook, light and shadow colliding in chaos. Elara's control of fire countered the dark surge, Kale's defense held, Eldrin's magic neutralized threats, and Seraphine's courage cut through illusions. Elara advanced, flames intensifying, her every step leaving glowing embers. Kale flanked her, sword sweeping to intercept shadows. Eldrin's counterspells coiled in the air, forming protective light around the group. Seraphine leapt across debris, striking with perfect timing. Lord Varen reinforced the crumbling structure beneath them, ensuring stability. Perhus dove low, scattering embers that ignited weak magic streams. Alaric's spirit shrieked, flaring with raw energy. The air felt alive with power, every movement deliberate. Elara's fire guided their path, Kale's defense maintained, Eldrin's magic safeguarded. Seraphine's strikes disrupted threats, Lord Varen's strength stabilized them, Pierce illuminated the battlefield. With a final surge, Elara summoned the flames within her, forming a vortex that engulfed Alarica's spirit. Kale thrust forward, sword gleaming, channeling light into the vortex. Eldrin's glyphs anchored the magic, preventing it from overwhelming the group. Seraphine's strikes shattered lingering illusions, clearing the battlefield. Lord Varen braced pillars, keeping the group safe from collapsing debris. Perhus soared above, wings spreading wide, amplifying the fire's glow. Alaric's wails echoed as the vortex consumed him, the dark energy dissolving into sparks. The group stood united, every effort synchronized, every heartbeat steady. Elara's courage culminated in victory, Kale's vigilance safeguarded them, Eldrin's magic anchored their power, and Seraphine's courage and Lord Varen's strength ensured survival. The vortex dissipated, leaving silence and faint embers floating in the air. Elara lowered her hands, flames fading but warmth lingering. Kale sheathed his sword, eyes scanning the room for remaining danger. Eldrin exhaled, energy finally calm, glyphs fading into light. Seraphine stood tall, sword at rest, eyes on the horizon. Lord Varen examined the ruins, ensuring nothing threatened their path. Pyrrhus landed gently, wings folding, embers glowing softly. The fortress was silent, the threat gone, and the group stood victorious. Elara's courage had prevailed. Kale's vigilance ensured safety. Eldrin's wisdom preserved balance. Seraphine's courage defended them. And Lord Varen's strength held their unity. The morning sun pierced the clouds above the ruined fortress, casting golden light on the survivors. Elara walked through the ruins, her eyes reflecting determination and hope. Kale followed closely, scanning for any lingering threats. Eldrin studied the crumbled architecture, noting patterns in the residual magic. Seraphine gently touched a shattered wall, feeling echoes of the battle. Lord Varen inspected the fallen pillars, ensuring the structure was stable enough for passage. Pyrrhus perched nearby, wings folded, embers glowing softly. The air smelled of smoke and ash, yet there was a calm serenity. Elara's leadership guided them, Kale's vigilance ensured safety, Eldrin's wisdom analyzed remnants, Seraphine's reflection honored courage, and Lord Varen's strength kept them grounded. Elara approached the remnants of the throne, memories of battle fresh but fading. Kale remained beside her, steadfast and protective. Eldrin traced faint magical residues in the air, whispering forgotten incantations. Seraphine knelt, gathering small fragments of the shattered throne as a reminder of sacrifice. Lord Varen carefully cleared debris to make a safe path forward. Pyrrhus stretched his wings, igniting a soft glow that danced along the ruins. Silence enveloped them, filled only with the distant rustle of wind and soft embers drifting. Elara's courage and wisdom guided their steps, Kale's vigilance ensured safety, Eldrin's analysis preserved knowledge, Seraphine honored memory, and Lord Varen ensured stability. The group gathered outside the fortress, sunlight warming their faces and revealing the lush valley beyond. Elara raised her gaze toward the horizon, a soft smile forming. Kale placed a reassuring hand on her shoulder, eyes scanning the valley for signs of danger. Eldrin studied the distant forests, noting lingering magical auras. Seraphine walked ahead, touching wildflowers that grew among rubble. Lord Varen guided them along a cleared path, ensuring safety at every step. Pyrrhus hovered above, wings glinting in sunlight. The group moved together, feeling the weight of victory but the promise of renewal. Elara's leadership inspired hope, Kale's vigilance offered protection, Eldrin's insight preserved wisdom. Seraphine's reflection honored courage, and Lord Varen's strength ensured unity. Elara paused at the edge of the valley, feeling the breeze ruffle her hair. Kale scanned the horizon one last time before turning to follow her. Eldrin smiled faintly, reassured by the quiet balance of the valley. Seraphine knelt to place a small stone on a marker of the fallen, honoring sacrifice. Lord Varen adjusted his cloak and checked the path, vigilant even in peace. Pyrrhus perched on a nearby rock, embers fading softly. The valley stretched before them, full of potential and untouched by recent chaos. Every breath felt lighter, every step hopeful. Elara's courage carried them forward, Kale's vigilance stayed present, Eldrin's wisdom reflected balance, Seraphine's reverence honored the past, Lord Varen's strength maintained their unity. The group descended into the valley, each step leaving a trace of hope behind. Elara led, heart light but vigilant. Kale stayed close, sword sheathed but ready. Eldrin traced faint magical lines in the air, documenting remnants of Alaric's power. Seraphine smiled softly, eyes bright with memory and promise. Lord Varen cleared obstacles with careful precision, keeping the path safe. Pyrrhus flew above, wings catching sunlight, embers twinkling. They moved as one, a family forged through battle, now stepping into a future of possibility. Elara's courage illuminated the way, Kale's vigilance ensured security, Eldrin's wisdom safeguarded knowledge, Seraphine's honor preserved memory, and Lord Varen's strength held them together. The valley welcomed them, ready for new beginnings. Months had passed since the fortress fell, yet the valley thrived under Alara's guidance. Kale trained young warriors at the edge of the forest, while Alara inspected crops and waterways. Eldrin lectured on magic's balance, teaching villagers protective spells. Seraphine tended to the injured and nurtured community growth. Lord Varen organized defense patrols and strengthened structures. Perhus circled above, casting shimmering light over fields. Together they built not only a thriving village but a symbol of resilience. Alara's courage inspired the people, Kale's vigilance trained defenders, Eldrin's wisdom preserved knowledge, Seraphine's compassion healed hearts, and Lord Varen's strength ensured stability. Alara gathered the leaders of the valley for a council meeting. Kale stood beside her, always attentive. Eldrin suggested new magical wards for the surrounding forests. Seraphine emphasized community health and morale, while Lord Varen proposed additional fortifications along the valley's ridge. Perhus landed gently near the council, eyes glinting with awareness. Decisions were made collectively, yet each leader contributed uniquely. The group balanced vision and practicality, safeguarding both legacy and future. Alara's leadership inspired trust, Kale's vigilance ensured readiness, Eldrin's insight preserved knowledge, Seraphine's guidance nurtured growth, and Lord Varen's strategy maintained security. Alara and Kale walked along the river, reflecting on their journey. Eldrin followed, noting how magic had strengthened the valley's ecosystem. Seraphine collected herbs along the bank, smiling at the flourishing flora. Lord Varen inspected river crossings and bridges, ensuring safe passage. Perhus glided overhead, leaving sparkling trails in the sunlight. Peace had returned, but the group remained vigilant, knowing new challenges would emerge. Their bond had grown stronger, shaped by trials. Alara's vision guided them forward, Kale's watchfulness protected the land, Eldrin's wisdom safeguarded knowledge, Seraphine's care nurtured life, and Lord Varen's presence ensured safety. In the evening, the group gathered around a fire outside the village. Alara shared stories of the fortress and the battles they had overcome. Kale recounted moments of bravery from the young warriors he trained. Eldrin explained magical phenomena in simple terms for villagers to understand. Seraphine offered advice on tending to the sick and nurturing gardens. Lord Varen spoke of the importance of vigilance and preparedness. Perhus perched nearby, embers glowing softly, casting light on their faces. Laughter and warmth filled the air. Alara's courage inspired hope, Kale's vigilance ensured safety, Eldrin's wisdom educated, Seraphine's compassion healed, and Lord Varen's strength reassured all. As night fell, the valley glowed under the moonlight. Alara gazed at the stars, contemplating future challenges. Kale kept watch silently, a protector of peace. Eldrin traced constellations, linking them to forgotten spells. Seraphine tended the last chores of the day, smiling at the thriving community. Lord Varen stood guard at the perimeter, alert yet relaxed. Perhus hovered above, wings reflecting moonlight. The valley was safe, the people thriving, and the future full of possibility. Together they had transformed devastation into hope. Alara's courage inspired generations, Kale's vigilance preserved life, Eldrin's wisdom safeguarded legacy, Seraphine's care nurtured growth, and Lord Varen's strength held unity.